Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So today I have another case out of Saudi Arabia. So this is the case of Judith Nakintu. Judith left her home country Uganda on 12th December of 2019 and headed to Saudi to work as a house help. The first few weeks of her arrival in Saudi Arabia, she maintained constant communication with the family through phone calls and even WhatsApp messages. After 2 months of her being in Saudi Arabia, the communication suddenly stopped. Her phone had been confiscated by her employer. Nobody knows why this happened, but I guess we've seen again and again in most of these cases that usually their phones are taken away from them. Judith was clever enough to have shared her employer's number, and so the family, via her brother, had the number. So the brother, Robert, decided to reach out to the employer to find out what's going on with her sister. So obviously she called the boss to ask what is going on, but the phone was not picked. He tried and called him several times, and eventually the boss picked up the phone call and let the brother know, the brother is called Robert, let Robert know that Nakintu was involved in an accident. Then obviously Robert asked for further information, like what sort of accident, how is she doing, can you send me some pictures, can you send me some videos, we are concerned, can I talk to her? And then all of a sudden the employer blocked her everywhere. Obviously out of concern, so then at this stage, they decided to visit the agency because surely someone must know what's happening to Nakintu, or at least they can find out if they haven't been informed already. So they went to the agency, and one funny thing is the agency kept asking them to wait and come tomorrow, wait and come tomorrow. And it was back and forth for a very long time. And so the family obviously was persistent because, I mean, when your sister or your brother or your son or your child is out there in a country that is known not to treat people very well, you're worried. So obviously the family was worried. But eventually the agency told the family that we have managed to trace Nakintu. She was involved in an accident. We don't know the nature of the accident, but we have arranged for her to come back home. And they were given a date and they were asked to go to the airport. Eventually, on 30th of October of 2021, Nakintu was flown back to her home country of Uganda after about 1 year plus being in Saudi Arabia. The family picked her up from the airport, but when they saw Nakintu, they were all shocked. She couldn't walk, she couldn't talk properly, and she was in a wheelchair. She was paralyzed on one side of her body. So they're trying to ask Judy, what happened to you? Were you involved in an accident? We've been told you're involved in an accident. What happened to you? So remember, Judy cannot speak very well, but she manages to tell the family members that all she remembers was one day she was driven to the hospital to get a vaccination for C-19. But shortly after they got to the hospital, she lost consciousness. When she regained her conscious back, she had a wound in her abdomen. So obviously she's asking the employer what happened to her, but it fell on deaf ears. When the family further demanded to know what happened and even asked for further assistance from the agency, they were told that they were going to get a medical report just to verify that Nakintu is fine. There's nothing wrong with her. She was involved in an accident, although they still not saying what was the nature of accident and what sort of, like, we know she has a disability now. What's the level of this disability? So anyway, the agency goes forward and arranges for a medical examination. Now remember, this is their own medical appointed agency. So Nakintu goes further for that medical assessment, and when the assessment report is out, she is confirmed to be okay, except for, you know, the obvious injuries, and her body parts intact. Now, The family is still not yet satisfied, so they further want to really figure out if her body parts are intact, then why is she having this scar in her stomach? Like, we're just trying to figure out what happened to her. At that point, the family then decides to appoint a private medical assessor. And this second medical assessment reveals that actually her right kidney is missing, something that the first medical report did not reveal or missed to reveal, or they were probably bribed. Who knows? So the family at this point, obviously, they are annoyed. They don't know what to do, but they decide to take it up to the courts with the agency. So they decided they're gonna sue this agency. So that is the local agency in Uganda. So I'm actually proud of this family, because like sometimes you have to take action to show these people that you're tough. Otherwise, you will be manipulated for the rest of your life. So the family actually goes to court. But as soon as, what's interesting, the family goes to court in Uganda, but they also go to court in Saudi Arabia. So the family decides to take this agency to court, accusing them of conspiring with the Saudi employer to harvest Judith's organs. Because how else could they run a scan on her the first time and not realize that one of her organs was missing, and even stating that all of her organs were intact, which was actually not true. So to the family, this was a clear proof that a crime had been committed, and therefore they took the company to court. They further, approached the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Uganda and wanted to sue the employer in Saudi Arabia. So they actually went further ahead and took the employer to court in Saudi Arabia. So Judith's family, through the Ugandan Foreign Affairs, contacted the Saudi people, and actually the case was presented before the courts over there, and it was confirmed that she was actually involved in a motor vehicle with the employer, and it was even further confirmed that the employer actually lost 2 children in that accident, and that Nakintu was just one of the survivors. And so the employer further went ahead and said that Nakintu survived this road accident, and apparently she had some terrible damage to her stomach, and during treatment she actually had a stroke. However, my thing is, still doesn't explain why she doesn't have one of her kidney. Anyway, this case goes through the courts, and Nakintu is actually awarded 70,000 US dollars in compensation for these injuries. And Nakintu, as of today, I think she's actually been paid this money. The court in Saudi Arabia found the employer 100% guilty in causing the accident that caused Nakintu's disability. Interesting thing is that the court only blamed her employer for the accident and not the organ harvesting. Meaning, I don't know if they still have to go back to court. I don't even know if they will ever listen to that second case, because it's still a fact that her organ is missing. Interesting thing is that the court only blamed her employer for the accident and not the organ harvesting. It is very clear that her organ might have or may have been removed during her treatment, as she was probably out of it and was unaware of what is going on. Maybe it was removed at that point, but we really don't know. We really don't know, because Nakintu doesn't have a proper memory. Thinking because of that accident, all she remembers is being driven to the hospital for a C19 jab, and when she came out of there, she had a scar in her tummy. So again, not a very ideal situation, but still better than most of the cases that we cover on Kenyan Crime Daily. At least somebody has taken, this case further, has gone to court in both countries. And this is the kind of thing we want to see moving forward, that these people are actually getting persecuted. So the court in Uganda is still pending, and I will be following up with that to let you know how that one goes. I'm pretty sure they have a very, very strong case, and it does look like they're actually going to win this case. So I'm really, really keeping it positive for her. I hope she wins this case. Now that she's disabled, now that she can't do much, she needs to be compensated as much as she can so that she's able to hire somebody to look after her full time. So, but we are praying that you find healing. Maybe one day God will decide to heal you and give you back your full life. You're able to walk, you're able to talk just as you were before. So thank you guys so much for coming to this channel. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please, before you click out of this video, make sure you are subscribed, because I am giving you videos every single day. We are consistent on this channel. Thank you so much once more. I'll catch you next time. Bye.